Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Weihrauch. And in today's episode, we are asking the question, how do you empty nest to the glory of God? Now listen, even if you're listening to this and you're not yet in the empty nest stage, stay plugged into this because I think what I have to say is relevant for all of us. This is prompted, by the way, by a really poignant article that was in The Atlantic this week by Gretchen Rubin, a writer who's describing her own experience as she takes the youngest of her two daughters to college and leaves her there and enters into the quote-unquote empty nest phase of life. She made some fascinating points in the article, but let me give you just one piece of data first, and that is that there are over 22.5 million empty nesters in the United States currently. And in fact, that number is continuing to rise as people live longer and spend more of their life without their kids. And that's the most interesting point that Gretchen Rubin made when she said, if you think about the math, so take me, for example, I was 25 when my oldest child was born, and when my youngest child moves out, I'll be 53. So I will have spent 28 years as a parent. But she makes the point that if I live till 83, I will spend more of my life without kids in the home than I will spend with kids in the home. Empty nest is a negative term. It's a depressing term. It implies that I'm living in a building that was really designed for one purpose, raising children. Now the children are gone and I'm just sitting in a nest for no apparent reason. But what's interesting about the article is that her answers to how to deal with empty nest are really pretty thin. And I no disrespect to Miss Rubin, she might be a Wake Up, Look Up listener, probably not. But just in case, let me say this. She talks about, hey, use this season of life to explore yourself, to travel, to develop hobbies and interests. She talks about moving from an empty nest mindset to an open door mindset. And she says that your doors should be open to new possibilities and to your children who will pop in and out of your home and in and out of your life for the rest of your life. But I found myself when I was reading the article being a little disappointed because the headline of moving from empty nest to open door had me excited at what I thought she was going to say, which is that when your kids are out of your home, that means there's space in your home to welcome new people. Maybe because I'm the pastor of a local church, or maybe because I'm a student of the Bible who tells me that hospitality is really the practice of turning strangers into brothers. But I can't help but think that so much of my life right now is about my kids. I'm driving them to things, I'm picking them up from things, I'm spending time with them, I'm discipling them, which means if you want to come over for dinner, I'm scheduling like into next summer. I just don't have time for you right now. I have to focus on the 5 human beings I'm trying to keep alive. But when those people are gone, all of a sudden there are empty seats at my table. There are empty seats in my living room. My calendar has freed up in a newfound way. And the reason that's so encouraging is because local churches are full of single people, other empty nesters, people who don't have families, aren't close to their families, who you could bless tremendously by channeling just one sliver of the time and energy you used to give your kids. Maybe you don't have kids to cook for anymore, but I know a lot of people in your church who have not had a home-cooked meal, at least not a good one, in a long time. Maybe you are so free of doing laundry all the time, but I bet there's a college student at your local church that sure wouldn't mind using your washer and dryer and not having to pay at the laundromat. The point is that I thought Miss Rubin was going to say, your doors should be open to new people. And she didn't say that, but the Bible does. God is often encouraging us in the scriptures to see what we have as an instrument to open ourselves up to love our neighbors, and more importantly, for our neighbors to experience the love of God. When your children move out, your life isn't over because your life isn't fundamentally about your children. It's about the glory of God and the pursuit of his kingdom, which can now, in a new and bigger and exciting way, happen in your living room and your dining room and your kitchen. Listen, even if you have kids, if you're like me and you're in the throes of raising kids and you can't even contemplate what it would be like for them to move out, ask yourself this question: am I building a life that's going to feel entirely empty when my kids leave? Listen, children are a blessing. I love my kids and you love yours. Don't ever apologize for that. But don't build the kind of life that leaves you feeling like you're in an empty nest when they leave. Build a life of community that is bigger than your kids. And that way, when they leave, they're simply making space for the new people God wants you to love. That is how you empty nest to the glory of God. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. While you're here, we'd love to ask you to hit subscribe or to like so you get future content. If you listen to the audio version too, make sure you leave a review and a comment. That really helps. Consider sharing it on social media and helping us get the word out. And hey, while you're here, check out all the other content that Christ Community Chapel is putting out, including the videos that are around me right now.